Hey guys, this is Wooly from SportDayPanda.com. Don't worry, no pandas were harmed in the making of this video. Today we're going to talk about strangles and why you might consider them instead of a Wheel of Fortune strategy. As a lot of people know, the Wheel of Fortune strategy is one of my favorite option strategies to use. I think it's simple. Most people, including people with retirement accounts like IRAs, are able to use them without needing any special permissions. But sometimes you might want a better return on capital, and for those folks, I think you may want to consider the strangle, specifically selling strangles in your main trading accounts. Some retirement accounts may not allow it. They might need you to either fill out some forms or getting approval. Some firms need I think up to level 4 or level 5 depending on who you are with. I believe Tastytrade allows strangles in a retirement account, but I think you should check that. I'll look it up and then let you know in the down in the description. I currently have a portfolio margin account, so I don't have to worry. So I have pretty much full privileges. And what I like about it is that they generally look at your entire portfolio to see what your risk is based on all your positions. So sometimes they give you a break when they're and what they require for when you make a trade. So it's been a pretty rough September 2020. The past few days were pretty choppy. Earlier in the month I had put on a Apple Strangle. I think I originally sold it for around $2.80. My original target was to take it off by now actually for around $1.40. But unfortunately that did not happen, so I actually wound up closing it for buying it back for around $2.60, so pretty much only made $20 or so. But don't get discouraged. This is actually probably one of my worst case scenarios for a strangler. Generally I'm usually able to take these off at a profit at around the 50% level. And unfortunately strangles are not perfect. Especially when you're in a volatile, choppy environment like now, sometimes volatility can spike and that really hurts your position. But don't get discouraged. I think in this particular example it didn't work as well as I hoped. But I actually plan to reestablish this position in the November expiration cycle. By then, hopefully we'll get a better understanding of what's going to happen with the election results. And this is just my guess that volatility will eventually work in our favor, meaning you sell volatility in a higher environment and then eventually buy it back in a lower environment. But back to the strangle in general and why you want to consider it. As you recall, when you do a Wheel of Fortune strategy, basically what you're doing is you're selling a put at a price that you're willing to buy a stock at. So the process is usually you sell the put until you get assigned the stock, and then after that, then you sell calls against it. But with a strangle, it's a very similar strategy in that you're bypassing the buying the stock or getting assigned the stock step, and you're actually kind of just smushing it all in one expiration cycle. So you're selling a put and selling a call at the same time in the same expiration cycle. And generally what you're looking for is when you're establishing it, you're looking for either high volatility, or if you're trading on the Tastytrade platform, you can look for high what they call high IVR, which is implied volatility rank. And what you're hoping for, you're hoping that you're selling in a period of high volatility and eventually hoping that the volatility goes down, and also combined with the theta decay, you can take off your position at 50% or around 20 days. So that's the gist of it, and it's been a pretty good alternative for certain stocks. Generally, I like to sell these on what I consider lower price stocks. In this case, after Apple had split earlier in the year, the trading price is around 100 or so, 100 plus. So for me, that's a lower price stock. But for you, it might be a little too big. So if you want to practice selling strangles, what you want to do is contact your broker first to make sure that if there's any additional requirements that you need to sell strangles. But for Tastyworks members, I believe when I first signed up, even before portfolio margin, I was able to sell strangles right off the bat. I was able to complete all the paperwork up front. And then portfolio margin just gives me more buying power relief. So that's one of the reasons why I like excuse me, I think I confused Tastytrade and Tastyworks. They're run by the same group. Tastytrade is their educational side of the business, and Tastyworks is the actual trading platform or brokerage. I apologize for that. I'll link my referral code. I don't think I get much or anything, but sometimes they have like these little specials where you might get free stock or maybe a free options. But anyway, let me see if there's anything in my notes that I want to also share. Yeah, so that's basically it. I would recommend if you first start, maybe just try selling strangles on a lower price stock, whatever low is for you, just to practice and to see how the mechanics go. What you want to keep in mind is if you lose money right off the bat, don't get scared. Sometimes when you sell in a high volatility environment, volatility can go even higher. And what you can do in this case to defend your position, you can actually roll your one of your strikes that's untested and roll it either up or down. So in my example, Apple, I was losing money from day one, so I had to wait a few days just to see if the position will go back into my favor, but it was looking pretty bad. So what I wound up doing is, since I was being tested on the downside, meaning the put was losing money, but the call was making a little bit of money, so I was able to buy back the call and then sell a call at a lower strike to actually increase the amount of credit that was received to help the position. And eventually Apple did bounce back a little bit, so then it was still between my call and the put. And the reason why I decided to buy it back was about 20 days had already gone by, so I just wanted to take the small profit while I could, and then see probably in the next day or so I'll look for another chance to sell in the November expiration cycle. So yeah, that's it. If you have any more questions, or if you want more video examples of selling strangles or any other option topics, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And if you can like and subscribe, that would really help me out. So thank you, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.